Hey loves, hopefully you're having an absolutely fantastic day today. I just want to let you know that you are completely surrounded by love from your specific person. And today we're actually going to go over an idea that's going to make living in the end feeling as if you already have your specific person or actually any manifestation that you desire right here and now. It's going to be easy and effortless. But never forget, you are constantly surrounded by love from your specific person. So, the topic of today goes on the idea of acting in accordance to exactly what you desire, right? You've definitely heard me talk about that. You've definitely heard or read Neville Goddard talking about that, writing about it, lecturing about it. I think Joseph Murphy talks about it as well. But what do you think of when you hear that phrase? Act in accordance with the outcome you desire, or act in accordance to the state of the wish fulfilled. We instantly think, well, that means we have to act physically like we already have what we want. But there's actually a problem with that way of thinking when you look at it just outright as it is. So think about then acting in accordance with the outcome that you desire. So if we're talking about our specific person, acting in accordance, how do you think that would look? According to just the basic idea that you would just take from hearing that is, oh, you should message your specific person you love them. You should show up at their door because you live with them. You're already together. You're married. Wouldn't you be living in the same house? But when I say those sorts of things, how does it feel internally? Would it feel natural and automatic to just show up at your specific person's house and barge your way in? You'd be like, absolutely not. It could actually make you feel in the opposite. So it might actually make you further from the state because it's going to feel weird internally, and everything is based upon what you are feeling and assuming internally. So that's the most important part. So we don't want to do that. But when it comes to, so I'm not saying right now acting in accordance is something wrong or we shouldn't do it. We just misinterpret it slightly. So think of the idea of acting in accordance with the outcome you desire. So in this case, instead of acting out logically what we feel would be acting in accordance, because that's showing up at your specific person's door, texting them all day, calling them nonstop, that would be physically and logically acting in accordance. But where's our attention when we're doing that? It's completely on our external reality. Everything we're thinking and doing is based upon action and reaction outside of us. But if instead, here's what we want to do. Instead of acting in accordance with that logical thought, we want to act in accordance to what our assumptions would be in that end state. So what I mean by that is acting in accordance with the feeling state. So we want to act in ways that bring about or reiterate the feelings, assumptions, beliefs we would have if we had already achieved exactly what we desire. Now, even right now, you might be like, well, Kyle, I don't get it. What does that mean? Isn't acting in accordance supposed to be an action? Well, yes, but the actions want to assume and create the feelings or assumptions and beliefs of you already being with your specific person. And I'll explain this a little bit more because there's actually a technique you can actually do that I've utilized in a bunch of coaching sessions that gotten people a lot of very good results. So once you get completely clear on exactly what you want, I want you to take a piece of paper out and I want you to write down all of the feelings, assumptions, beliefs, emotions that you will have in your end state. Okay, so if we're manifesting a specific person, that might be everybody loves me, I feel confident, I feel loved, I feel committed to. And then under each of those emotions, beliefs, or assumptions, because then they can be either of the three, I want you to write down 3 different ways that you can achieve those feelings right here and right now. So there are ways to help us get into the state. So let's say we took, for example, the idea of being loved. In that case, you draw 3 kind of branches next to it, right? 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C, right under it. And then you would write, hanging out with my family makes me feel loved. Petting my dog makes me feel loved. Hanging out with my friends makes me feel loved. Whatever it is that gets you into that emotional state, that's what we want to then begin acting out right here and right now. Now, a complete side note, remember, you never have to take action to get exactly what you want. So what we're doing here is kind of like acting upon limiting beliefs we already have. Because you've heard me say it a lot of times on this channel, the quickest way to a state change is a physiological one. So if we can physiologically force ourselves into that state, again, not in the force of the way that you think it would be, but we're making or creating that assumption automatically internally so we can much more easily get into that end state. That's going to help us out a lot. And again, though, this is all, don't feel like you don't have to do any of this. This is just a way to get our end state to much quicker and much more easily match the state of the wish fulfilled. And right now you might even be like, I've never heard or seen a technique like this. Try it out. It is the most significant technique, I would say, maybe not the most significant, but a very significant technique that I've used myself and I've used in coaching sessions. And I would honestly say it literally never misses. There's never been a failed attempt with using what I'm talking about right here and right now. So I know it may feel odd or weird to think that, how is this actually manifesting my SP if I'm hanging out with my family? But think less upon what you're doing and think more about your internal state. Literally have your focus 100% on your internal state. What are you feeling? Would you say the version of you that's hanging out with your family, that's feeling loved, abundant, cherished, do you think that version matches more of your end state than someone who sits at home waiting for their desire to come to them? Now, again, remember, we don't technically have to take any action at all. Literally, you could meditate in your room, feel into the end state, and your specific person is going to knock on your door and break your door down to come and get into that house. The only problem I found with that is sometimes it takes a little more mental discipline to get into the state that way. So this way is kind of like a little cheat code around it. So you don't have to really get into like a Buddhist monk level of meditation, and you can still manifest very, very quickly. And this is going to cause that huge shift in everything in your reality. You're gonna literally enter into the state where manifestation is easy, it's effortless, and you're having a lot of fun during the whole process. Because that's usually what I found people talking about, worrying about, or having anxiety about, is during manifestation, they feel like it's hard, or they're having anxiety, or they're worrying, and I don't want you to do that at all. I want you to do it easily and effortlessly, and think about the whole rules of the law of assumption. We have to assume the state, so feel what it would feel like right now to get what you want right at this very moment. So how should that feel? Shouldn't that feel like love, abundance, commitment, satisfaction, all of these positive emotions, right? Because you feel as if, how would you feel right now, again, on your paper, if you had already achieved, or you're married with your specific person in the relationship, whatever it is that you want? How would you feel had you already achieved that? We want to feel that right now. So it's almost like, in the same case, maybe a better idea might be, pretend as if you were going to manifest winning $1 million, because usually when it comes to metaphors or analogies with specific people, sometimes it's easier to relate it to something else and it clicks a lot easier. But imagine you were going to manifest making $1 million. You would need to feel then right now as if you already had it. So you'd feel very wealthy. You wouldn't have anxiety over money, right? So that's the feeling we have right now to then achieve that state and see it reflected in our external reality. So that's why I'm always talking about manifestation can be easy and it can be effortless. We don't have to worry. We don't have to have anxiety. It can be so easy. Again, and it's going to seem like you are not even putting any effort towards your specific person, and you're going to get so much more results than you ever have in the past. But absolutely never, ever underestimate the power of this. So try this out. Let me know your results. I know you're going to love it, and you're going to feel great, and you're going to get much more movement with your specific person. If you did have any questions on this concept, leave it down in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this video, and then also don't forget to subscribe. Always remember, you can reach out to me on my website if you wanted one-on-one coaching for me to explain this further, or if you wanted to send me a personal question, head over to kyleaugustcoaching.com. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.